Joining us now in Studio B, friend of the program and an all-around good man, Terry Nashif.
He might watch The Bachelor. I don't know.
Wearing his Air Mormon Kyle Collinsworth T-shirt. Assistant basketball coach represent. Welcome, Terry.
What's up? How are you?
Good.
Kyle sent you that shirt? That's sweet.
I bought it, man.
You bought it?
Absolutely.
Oh,
support Kyle, and it's great. Love the shirt. So awesome play. I saw it on Twitter and reached out, and he was able to get it to me. And so
support the cause.
Absolutely.
Here's a man that understands fashion, Jerem.
Yes,
okay?
he does. Yeah.
Not only does he show up the Air Mormon T-shirt, he was rocking the Spider-Man costume
Stadium,
at the Rex Lee run on Saturday. And I believe that Terry understands forward fashion, including how awesome the Nike Tech Fleece Capri sweats are.
Absolutely. I think what you need to understand. I learned this from Archie Rose. You guys remember Ace?
Oh,
Came in town, talked to him, and I was asking about some stuff. He knows style really well, and he said, "Hey, T, you're right where you need to be."
Yeah.
And Spencer, you're right where you need to be. And then the other thing you need to think about is where the criticism is coming from. And sometimes it's a compliment because you don't want to be like some of the people that are criticizing you. And if you look at them and they think, "Hey, what you're wearing is great," you want to be like, "Whoa, I need to evaluate where I'm at." So you're right where you need to be, Spencer.
This is fantastic.
Right
logic,
where you need to
Terry.
be.
Thank you, my friend.
Don't let the majority of people tell you what to do.
The stylish Terry Nashif in Studio B. Hey, really interesting matchup announced last night in the NIT.
Did you know that UT-Arlington beat St. Mary's?
I was well aware of that. Yes.
Isn't that funny?
Yes,
That's like
well aware of that.
That's like I saw Jason Shepard tweet out. That's like the new. Did you know Ziggy didn't play football before?
Yes.
The BYU thing. Like everyone knows that they beat St. Mary's, right?
Yeah.
So that's an intriguing matchup, I think, for you guys.
Absolutely, and they executed the game plan that you go in hoping to execute against St. Mary's. They led for 32 minutes of that game.
Wow.
You try to make St. Mary's uncomfortable. It's really hard to do. They have their pace. They have their style. They do what they do. The one thing that gets them, it appears, is to have the lead against them and keep continually scoring and just continue to have the lead throughout the game. That's what Gonzaga does against them, and that's what UT-Arlington did against them, 32 minutes, and that's what happened, and they won the game.
Were you a little bit disappointed to see Utah on the other side of the bracket?
I think what you look at in the NIT is you look at our schedule last year and you try to bring teams in that you can't schedule, right? And we were able to get Virginia Tech in our building, Creighton in our building, UAB, a great team in our building, and obviously it was hard to schedule Utah this year, so it would have been great to play them. But we won't be seeing them early on at least.
Yeah, early on at least. That's right. UT-Arlington, Wednesday night. The motivation's always the thing you talk about when you want to be in the NCAA tournament, obviously. But if not, you want to make a run. And you guys have the last two times in the NIT made a run to New York. So what's the conversation like with a totally new group from last year, basically?
Well, I think there's a couple things that are in play here. One, it's hard to get in the NIT. You look at what basketball has done as far as how many teams there are, how hard it is to get in the postseason. You want to get in the NIT, to have a home game in the NIT is a big deal. And then you look at the way that our last game went, and you want to play again. And so, we're sitting on that loss. We've been sitting on it for a long time. Longest we've sat on a loss, obviously, with how many days we've had between games. And so we're excited to play again. And it's great to be in the NIT. It's great to have more games to play. And we need to show what we are, and we need to play better. And I think we will.
What is the mentality of the team right now? Because, the conversations that I've had, obviously, it's like we just want to get back on the floor because that's not us. That was a low point thing. So what's the mentality of the team right now today?
I think that's exactly what it is, what you talked about. We were making some strides. I know offensively, you look at the way the ball was really moving against Portland and Gonzaga, and then you even see that in on Saturday in the first game where the LMU, where the ball is just popping around, guys are sharing the ball, we know when the shots are coming, then the ball gets stuck a little bit, and that's happened throughout the year, and we need to be us, and in practice leading up to it, we'd actually made some huge strides as far as that ball moving, sharing it. It gives us an advantage when we're playing on closeouts, when the ball's thrown in the post, then thrown out, thrown back in. It's just everything is different with the defense. And, we'd seen some real strides with that, and we took some steps back, obviously, in that St. Mary's game. And we need to get out there and play together and move the ball and be on attack. And the way that UT-Arlington plays will allow us to do that. They change up defenses a lot, and they play really hard. That's one thing that they really do is they're aggressive and they play really hard. They're good defenders, and they change up defenses a lot. And so if we're on our game and we're sharing the ball and moving the ball, we'll be able to attack teams like that.
Are they comparable to any team that you've played this season?
Not really. There's little pieces of different things. They run a little matchup zone. They'll switch everything at times. They down ball screens, meaning they get up top and they don't let you use the screen. And then they'll switch actually that screen if it's they're late on it, and then they'll switch back. So there's a small window there. You look at the teams that they've played against, and they haven't played a team similar to us, obviously. And so it's an intriguing matchup. You'll know how things are going. If it looks like we're trying to figure out what defense they're in, then we're not doing what we want to do. We want to be on attack. So at times the team doesn't even know, our guys don't even know what defense it is. And we'll call some plays that work man or zone, matchup, or different things that they do.
Yeah, as a 6 seed, they're interesting because they're a top 50 RPI team. They're higher ranked in some BPI and KenPom than even you guys. So this matchup is fun. Now, the NIT is going to experiment with some rules. This is going to be interesting for the coaching staff, right? So 2 10-minute segments of each half, still 20-minute half, but the fouls reset. 5 gets you in the bonus, and it's 2 shots. 20-second shot clock when the ball is inbounded in the front court. A few new rules that are going to be fun.
Not only interesting for the coaches, but the clock operator. This is going to be interesting. Game's going, all of a sudden we got to reset the fouls to 0.
Yeah.
But it is. We like to get to the line. We like as many times as we can. We've been there a lot. And so we think it's advantageous. One thing that I think is funny is there'll be no one-on-ones. And I think it's always intriguing when a guy gets in there, it's a 1-on-1, we got 7 or 8 fouls, and the coach is screaming at the ref, it's on the shot, it's 2 fouls, and the player's going to the line like, wow, coach, I think I'll make the first one and get the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, you got this, man. He's like, well, you don't think I got it, all right? That's why you're arguing about the second. We need this. It was a shooting foul. I need 2. So there'll be none of that.
Do you want quarters in college basketball, or 20-minute halves fun?
I love 20-minute halves. You don't see it anywhere. This is interesting, the way the team fouls are coming and how they reset. There's a lot that goes on when you think about a half, and how many times have we seen 7 to 2 fouls, 8 to 3 fouls?
Yeah,
it's
right.
uneven, and all of a sudden it's at 10 minutes it's back to 0-0, and so all those different things it comes into play. But I like 20-minute halves. It's unique to men's college basketball, and I like that.
Are quarters inevitable though? I mean, the women went to quarters at some point. The men are, right?
I don't think it's inevitable. I think
No?
this is, if it was, they would experiment with going to quarters, and that's not what they want to do. They want to try to see how the fouls go.
Here,
Yeah, they want to keep the uniqueness of 20-minute halves. It's nowhere else, and then also, but get the aspect of the team fouls and things.
Yeah.
Would you change any rule in college basketball as it is? Because the one I constantly go back to is, could we please give the guys 6 fouls? Like that, I want that one, but who knows? Would you change anything?
Oh, I love that rule, obviously, especially this year when we lost so many starters and we're so slim on the bench. Let's give them 8. All right, 8 fouls would be wonderful.
Please.
Yeah, let's go to 8 fouls. So I think that's a great rule change. I always want the shot clock shorter. We play fast. Let's speed everybody else up. And, there is a shot clock rule in here as far as going to 20. It's not going to make a difference for us. I love it when the refs go to the clock, trying to reset the shot clock. We're on offense, and I'm continually just saying, hey, guys, just put it whatever you want. Let's go. We're going to score quickly.
Put it at 6.
So, yeah.
Whatever.
Let's keep the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Don't need to go to the monitor.
Yeah.
So,
for this group in the NIT, the future's everyone talks about the future. Future's overrated to me. The present is where it's at, right? The future is also important. What do you want to accomplish with this group right now? And how could that help you in the future?
I think you talked about at the present. We don't know what's going to happen. If someone was sitting here, we were talking, in the summer, everyone's trying to project out what's supposed to happen, and then you talk about the different ways that our roster has looked throughout these games. No one can predict what's going to happen. Everyone says, hey, all 5 starters are coming back. All these things. We don't know that, right? So what we want to do is we want to come out, and we talked about we want to play better on Wednesday than we did previous Monday. And we want to get better, and we want to play right. And then we want to have some success so that can build towards the next game, and then build towards the next game and see what we're made of. You guys talked about it.
Yeah, how could you possibly know? This season has really been intriguing for me, looking at what challenges you have unexpectedly faced. I mean, Kyle Davis going out, LJ Rose going out, Eli Bryant not being able to come back. Like, he didn't have that critical time early in the season to gel with the guys. Like, you just think, no one's going to think, oh, yeah, he's going to get injured and this is going to happen. But one on top of the other, yet you still had to adjust. You still won 22 games. So, I mean, when you look back at this season, maybe what was the most unexpected thing that happened?
Well, I think you look at another thing with Eli. You take 3 months off of basketball, 2 months off of basketball, and it's going to take some time. I think he was really coming into his own late. Obviously, he had 39 at Portland. He's a better shooter than his numbers. We watch him in practice every day. And then there's been so many unexpecteds, which is a little bit expected with the young team. But then you talk about the injuries. You wouldn't think that, KD, your most reliable guy, starting every game, comes back and he's not with you after a few games, and then LJ going out, and then obviously Eli coming back. You beat what had at one point was the best win in the NCAA, going to number 1 Gonzaga. You get beat handily by a team. You get beat 3 times, which has never happened under Coach Rose. There's so many things that you couldn't expect, and so I don't know if you can pick one, but that's what happens with a young team. So that's why you say you can't ever predict what this means to the next year, what this means to the next game even. Let's just try to beat UT-Arlington and play well.
Can you enjoy the NCAA tournament as a fan without being like, I wish we were in that?
Yeah, yesterday was sad. It's, we've had so much success. We get there all the time. And other coaches, you talk about that, and they're like, come on, man, I've been to the tournament like twice in my 20-year career, or twice in my 10-year career, things like that. Interesting as it sounds, for me personally, I can enjoy it a little bit more not being in it. When we were in it, you're always just focused on the games that you're playing. You get beaten and you just can't even watch basketball, those different things. And so the way we've had it with the NIT, we've been playing still. You feel good. You can watch other games. And so I've been able to enjoy it. So hopefully we can keep playing and enjoy the NCAA tournament. Got some good friends in the tournament. Coach Rice with Nevada since 2007, first time getting there. Really happy for him. Great friend and great coach. And so it's interesting, if I'm not mistaken, not a Utah team.
No Utah teams.
So,
No Utah team.
That's that will be interesting. But I'll enjoy watching the games. Lots of friends out there coaching. And
So maybe we are
Salt Lake's in the tournament, though. Gonzaga and St. Mary's playing in Salt Lake.
in Salt Lake, yeah. West Coast Conference representing Salt Lake, and maybe we are all Dave Rice in Nevada, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
The BYU tie is is right
I
there.
say go Zags, but I want the Gales to lose in the first.
You've been a big Gales guy all along, right?
Yeah.
You thought they were really good from the beginning.
Yes, I did. During the summer, I was like, they're going to be amazing.
I remember coming on the show and before you were talking about how the St. Mary, and I was like, I think they're pretty good. But it's not part of my segment of the show, so I'll leave that to you guys.
They return all 5 starters. No pressure next year.
Oh, good stuff. Terry, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, man.
Great, guys.
Thanks, Terry.
Stay in your lane. You're doing great.
You got it,
Spencer.
brother.